Hello and good morning.
Hey, good morning everyone! Happy Monday! Happy July the 5th! How's it going?
How are you all doing today?
Doing good! It's Animorning today. Top of the Animorning to you!
Top of the morning. Top of the Animorning to Animorning?
Animorning! I have my tea. I am in my pajamas. I'm tired, but I'm ready to go. Alan, Alice, it was your birthday yesterday. Happy birthday for yesterday. We just found out that it was Patrick's birthday.
On the 1st.
On the 1st. And we missed it, so we've got to think of something awesome to do for him. Because we love Pat. Got to think of something super cool to do for him. Hope you had a good birthday, Alan. Alice, what did you get up to? Did you do anything cool? So that means that you were born on 4th of July. It's a pretty big day to be born on. I gotta fish my tea bag out of my tea.
I'm just looking for your screen. Give me 2 seconds.
Looking for my screen? I'm sending it to you. Akayatana says, as usual, you fine folks are going live. Tells me I've stayed up far too late. What time is it for you right now? Get that sleep. 20 to 4? That's so late! Ah! Oh my goodness. Go get some rest. Holy guacamole. We appreciate you being here at 20 to 4. Kezek, thank you so much for the subscription. Thank you, my dude. It was really fun watching you play Beyond Good and Evil the other day, Kezek. I couldn't watch to the very end, but I watched the first bit of it and I'm going to see if I can catch the VOD. That game looks awesome. It was really fun to hang out while I was working. Oh no, Vert! Vert spent the entire weekend on the toilet. Tummy isn't feeling so good. Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry. Are you still feeling bad today as well? Oh man. What a terrible way to spend a weekend. Wait, India, check your Steam. Steam? Did you gift it to me?
What the gift?
Hold on. I'm checking my Steam. I don't know how to check stuff. How am I to know how to check things? I don't. Wait, pending gift. Oh my gosh! Thank you so much! Thank you so much! Wow! Wow! Thank you, Kezek. I was totally gonna buy it. You didn't have to buy it for me. Oh no! All the bits I threw at you. For you! They're for you! Thank you so much. I'm adding it to my library now. I've always wanted to play it. Ever since I first saw the game cartridge for a console I didn't have, way back when I was a teenager, I've wanted to play it. You choose that. Fair enough. Put my hands up. That's super cool of you. Thank you so much. I'm gonna I've got to play that and I'm going to enjoy it. Hey, maybe I'll finish it in time for Beyond Good and Evil 2, huh? Just remember, the PC port on new PCs is a little jank sometimes. Okay, but I just hit escape, right? And then it will fix it. Are you hearing Double Martina? Do we have something bulk going on with the mic?
I did change some stuff with the microphones, so do let me know.
Yeah, let us know how the audio is, because Mike has, Is it when I'm loud? Being loud now!
Might be when you're being loud.
I'm sorry, it's when I get too loud. I'll try and keep it chill and DL for this stream.
Yeah, but I want you to be able to shout. But not for it to sound like double.
Yeah, but we can fix it off stream.
You're saying that I can't get your screen to appear.
You can't get my screen to appear? Well, if all fails, then I can always hop over to you.
Oh wait. Are you? It only appears when I go into properties. Are you serious?
What the heck? It appeared on stream. That's so weird.
Okay, well, we'll do it this way then.
Yo, Vert, thank you so much for your subscription. Your Prime subscription. Thank you. Much appreciate it. Yeah. I have heard so much good stuff about the game, and seeing Kurzak play is just solidified in my brain that it's exactly the kind of game I would love to play. It looks really fun. I really hope the second one comes out soon. I know that's probably not going to happen, but if it comes out sometime this year or early next year, I'll be real happy. Kurzak says, is this the browser being screen shared through Discord? Because mine has sound and you can't get sound if you share the screen.
What she's saying that is on Discord, if you're only sharing your screen rather than the application, then you won't get I won't get the sound for her submission.
Right. Should I do it differently then if more than that sound?
Yeah. Let's try it.
Okay. Let me try sharing the application then. Instead of a screen.
Let me just make it not visible so you're safe. Like, go for it.
Okay. Application. Let's do this one. Okay. How's that? Oh, no trouble, Kurzak. No worries at all.
I'm not seeing it at all.
You're not seeing it at all?
Are you on the application?
Click on the window.
I'm not seeing it at all. Are you you're choosing Chrome?
Oh, you can come across if you want to see what I'm choosing.
It looks like it should be sharing.
Right? Let's choosing this one.
Yeah. Okay. I'll rejoin.
Okay. Doop-a-doop-boop-a-doop-boop. Whoopi's sitting next to me because she happens to have found a patch of sun next to me. I'm taking full advantage and giving you some scritches. Aw. I'm really antsy because I'm really antsy because I took some time to play like an hour or so of Breath of the Wild the other day to just take care of some stuff in the game that I don't think we necessarily need to do on stream. You know, just to line all my ducks up. And now I really want to show Mike the stuff I've done, but he won't look at it until we're on stream again. So I'm like, no, look at my house! Look at my house, it's all done. Look at my clothes I dyed. Look at the Sheikahs I upgraded. Look at all this stuff I did. Yeah, this submission is from the book Holes, from the perspective of the hole at night time. This is it.
Now the screen share isn't working. Oh, fuck me.
It's like one of those cheesy postcards, Dublin at night. Well, we can go back to doing it the other way if you want, where I share the screen instead of the application. Or I can just come over to your computer. We can do it over there. Emla says, patience, young one.
Okay, there we go.
Oh, you got it working. Nice gerb.
Although for some reason I can hear the... What did you do? What? Okay, this...
You can hear the
there
what?
We go. I can hear the startup screen. Are we still showing the startup screen? Or am I watching... No, that's not what's happening.
No, we're not watching it.
Patience,
Iago.
Why do I still hear the start screen music?
Oh, the music that's on right now.
No,
that we can both hear.
the
oh, it's your favorite.
Yeah, the fan art stuff.
Oh, I don't know. Do you have two instances of OBS running simultaneously?
Nope.
I don't know, dude.
We'll just start.
Okay, let me just adjust my chair. Buffy's sitting right next to me, so I've got to try and adjust this wheelie chair without running her over. Okay. As long as I don't move again, I'm good. Very cute, but I am also paranoid that I'm gonna like shift.
Do you want me to move the cushion so she can just sort of like sit on the cushion?
Which cushion? Okay, yeah. Take the cushion. Give the cushion to the cat. Give the cat the cushion. She likes the cushion. Put it into sunlight. Put it into sunlight. Cushion in the sunlight. Luxury. Luxury for this cat. She looks really like harangued. Like we're somehow affronting her by putting a cushion in front of her in a patch of sunlight. It's like, come on, Buffy, this is for you. You should like this. This is all the things you like we've tried to put together for you. There, she's moved. She's moving slowly onto the cushion. 1 foot at a time, very slowly. This is Cat Update with India Swift. She's decided she doesn't want to be on the cushion. She wants to just walk under my chair again. That's fine. You know what? She made this decision, so anything that happens now is a consequence of her own fault. We tried.
It's because we moved the cushion. Now she can stand where the cushion was.
Of course. Did I turn Jamaican? What is happening? Okay, so this week's Animorning challenge. We asked y'all to take a small paragraph from a book that you liked and to animate it. So first up we have at Astral Libraries. Astral Library, are you in chat? Because if so, I'd love to know what book this is. I'm going to hit play. You ready? Yep. Oh, wow. Beautiful.
Whoa.
Look at this. Awesome. Really fun.
Yeah, that's really awesome.
Beautiful, beautiful work.
They are in chat. Hello.
Heyo. Hello, hello, hello. Beautiful work. Love the texture that you're using here. So what was this from?
Give me a sec. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, sorry. If this is, I need to like, I remember. I can get a spreadsheet that'll help with this. I'm just getting all of your notes that you sent along with this, so bear with me.
Oh, brilliant. Good call, Mike.
Text wrapping, wrap around. So let's see. A lot of things this time were new to me, but I think what I struggled with the most was the initial movement of the arm throwing the hawk into the air. I don't feel like I conveyed the full weight of the heaving motion and the secondary motion of the hawk being thrown up as well as I could have. Maybe I backed myself into a corner by using a low frame rate ? Also, here's the book and excerpt I used because I don't see anywhere else to include it. Sorry if this is the wrong place. Nope, I should have put it somewhere. I know you all joked about someone doing Animorphs on stream, but I have a serious pro Animorphs agenda here. I've wanted to animate something from these books for a long time, so I took this as a golden opportunity. Hope you can forgive me. Animorphs number 3. The Encounter.
Yeah.
Chapter 16.
Nice.
Helping hands were clawing, trying to save Rachel from the crazed, out-of-control bird. She gave me a heave, just enough to get me into the air. Anyone watching would have thought she was trying to get me off her. I flapped up, just out of reach of a dozen hands that clawed the air trying to grab me. Someone threw a shopping bag at me. I dodged. But there was no escape. Overhead, I saw the skylight. Blue sky. The hawk in my head wanted the sky. It knew safety was up in the high blue. The hawk powered straight up at the glass that he didn't understand. That glass that would be like a brick wall. But I couldn't fight it anymore. The hawk had won.
Oh, awesome. It's a cool passage to choose. So let me think. I'm just trying to think over and remember everything that you said. Yes, so you said that the thing that you felt like you had the most problem with was the throwing of the hawk into the air at the beginning. And I will say that when I watched this, I didn't see the throwing motion so much. I read that as being someone else just grabbing at it. So I think we can probably do some stuff to try and make that read a bit better. I love this entire sequence that you've done though. It's so good, so good. The only other thing that I might change is here where we have the last bit of the hawk flying upwards. It might be nice to have the hawk shrinking more into the distance. As the movement slows down, which makes it feel like it's travelling further away, but the actual size of the hawk remains largely unchanged. So it might be nice to have, from here, really have the hawk start to shrink in size, so we feel like it's getting further away from the camera. Let's pop a little thing over the top.
For those talking about not sending through the notes and stuff with yours, I don't know if you guys can hear that or not.
Can you hear that, guys? Can you hear the India Swift jingle thing going on in the background?
But if you're here, then just feel free to paste your paragraphs now, and I can add them to the sheet. Could hear it slightly. I don't know why that's playing. Let's have this again.
There you go. So I'm just gonna put a little note to have hawk fly farther. Sometimes it doesn't obey my strokes. Farther into distance. Because you've already got the spacing for it to feel like it's going into the distance. I think the only issue right now is the size of the hawk. Oh. Get smaller. Okay, let's ping back to the beginning and have a look at this throw. So I think maybe something is that it feels like spacing of the hand doesn't move enough between here and here to really feel like it's throwing the crow off. I think rather than rebound backwards here, the hand needs to feel like it continues that motion a little bit. Like if you throw your hand up and you're throwing it up as hard as you can, then there's follow through at the end rather than an immediate rebound. So I think this motion would continue to follow through a bit more. Let's have a look. Let's see what feels good to do. I wonder if we can break the silhouette a little bit more too. Let me just adjust. Whoops, what have I done? I don't know what I've done. Adjust this so it holds. So hold frame to new sketch. Okay, here we are. Cool. And then you can have a little bit of overlap there in preparation. So the wrist tilts down as the elbow rises up. So it's acting almost like anticipation. And then the hand flings upwards. You've got this nice hand shape here that I really like.
Your paragraph sentences, and I want to be on the couch with very dirty shoes. Thank you.
What now?
Don't mind me. You'll learn later.
Okay. I wonder if we can just drag the hawk's head down a little bit instead of having it go flush against the arm. I do like that exaggeration though. I really like what you're doing with the tail here too, where the tail's dragging. Lovely stuff.
India, if there's anything you want me to like type out into the comment part, I can do that as well.
Thanks. Maybe having the talons open a little bit, as though they've just been flung wide or they're still grasping or something, would be a good shout. Long birdie legs. Okay, so let's see if we were going to follow this through. I'd probably have it like up here, so I might have to move that foot position of the bird. No, I still want that break in the wrist a little bit. So this is besides the point completely. But I started watching Twin Peaks over the weekend because I've heard so much about that show but never seen it. And I'm only a few episodes in, so definitely no spoilers. Because especially like Mike hasn't watched any of it at all, and I think he wants to.
Yeah, I do.
So no spoilers. But that show is effing bonkers.
I would hear India every so often just be like, what? So yeah, I want to give it a go.
I'm excited for you to give it a go so we can talk about it.
How far did you get?
Episode 3.
Okay.
But I'm good to stop until you've caught up, if you're okay to like do that at some point today.
I'm good to do that, yeah.
See, I don't know why this note is here. This frame doesn't need a note. There we are. So I think maybe a shape a bit more like this. I do like the having one leg extended. I'm trying to like think of where the force of the hand would be, and then I'm trying to kind of impact that through the hawk in the shape, so we can see like where it's being flung backwards from. Like I imagine its head would drag behind the force of the body being flung back.
So you've got that arc in the back.
Yes, I'm trying to like follow this through like this, so we can like kind of see in the shape where the force is throwing it. Through trying to like simplify the back shape a little bit. It's my thought process anyway. And then the wings would be coming out to try and like catch itself. And then this frame, her hand would be maybe open a little bit more. But we'd also be moving down because the camera is dragging down, so you'd probably only see like this top bit. But I'm like following through the motion a little bit still. I'm trying to like ease it a little bit now so that the movement is less extreme. Trying to find that like balance between feeling like it's following through and feeling like it's not too far from the previous key as the camera moves up.
I do like that in this the hawk, the subject of the frame, kind of stays around the same area, and it's the background and the camera that moves. It makes it enjoyable to watch.
Yeah, it's lovely. Some lovely work right here. And then this would be You see, if I open it, it feels more like a grabbing motion, so I'm not going to open it. I'm going to keep it more closed. Let's try something like this. Because I don't want to distract from this grabbing hand coming up. I really like this grabbing hand coming up, and I don't want to lose that. Let's just see how this looks for a sec, and then maybe it'll give us an indication of where to go next, if it's even working. Yeah, I think to me that feels more like it conveys the weight of throwing the bird off. Do you think, Mike?
I'm just looking. Yeah, I think so.
Getting that hand off screen now is a new problem.
I think also because there's no scale difference between that hand and the other grabbing hands, I would maybe have framed it in a way where the one launching the hawk is just slightly larger or more to the foreground. What do you think?
Yeah, you could have done that for sure. I kind of like the chaos.
Okay. I mean, that's a balance in narrative that's subjective that you can choose.
Yeah.
The chaos, as you said, does help with the kind of frantic feeling.
Yeah, I think it was just a matter of follow through. I think that's all it was. I think it's just this frame here where you had the hand kind of rebound back down. I think having the hand instead continue to follow through makes it feel more like a throwing motion and less like a... it makes you feel like there's more force behind it, I think is what I'm trying to say. I think this is gorgeous. So I really like the way that here you can see with the background, you've adjusted the perspective here as we travel up. So it's got kind of a warped perspective look to it. Mm-hmm. Really like that. Speed lines work really nicely. The back throw works really nicely. You could maybe give it like one more frame to get off screen, but honestly I didn't notice it. Yeah, this is beautiful. Really beautiful stuff. I'd love to, like, I don't know if you'd consider finishing up and cleaning this off, but I would love to see a final version of this, because I think you've already got like you're 90% there, and with like a little bit of polish on these speed lines and the backgrounds and such, I think that would be really, really nice. Yeah, awesome job, Astral Library. Incredible work. We're hopping on to the next one.
Next one.
What book will we have this time?
So this is Agoguma.
At Agoguma. Agoguma, are you here? Do we have any notes from Agoguma?
We do. They say, hi, first time doing the Animorning challenge. I guess I still struggle with solid drawing, even though it's very rough. I took this opportunity to practice it a bit. And it was a nice exercise turning words into moving images. Haha. By the way, this is a paragraph from Asimov's The End of Eternity. I am not familiar with the text.
Me either. Cool. Asimov, The End of Eternity. This is really just a way for Mike and I to get book recommendations. Alright, let's have a look. Oh, cool. The staging here is really fun. So we've got this person laughing, and then the door opens, and we zoom through to see. It looks like it's the same person, but I think it's probably just someone in the same outfit. Like maybe this is a guard or something. And we zoom through to see this person in the dark as the door closes on them. That's how I'm reading it. Let me know if you have a different interpretation of this, Mike. Because the door starts to close there, and we see the the line of light close.
Yeah, I feel like we're going through and then it's closing on them.
I really like the staging of here, going through the door crack and then seeing the door close through this person's expression and the lighting on them. It's really cool. What an awesome way to think about staging the scene. Let's see. So solid drawing. Something that I think would really help you with solid drawing. You guys know. It's like, especially looking at this background here, I think working with your perspective a bit more will really help you.
Yes.
Because being conscious of where the vanishing points are in your scene, it's going to help you not only draw stuff like the background, but it's also going to help you understand the character's relationship to the camera as well, in terms of, are we looking slightly down on them, looking slightly up at them, you know? So I think here it's going to really help you make this entire room feel convincing. So see if we can do it. It's a shame that I'm still learning perspective myself, so like I'm getting a little comfortable now with 1 point perspective, but I'm still not completely comfortable with 2 point or 3 point perspective. So forgive me. I don't have a ruler or anything. And is there a ruler tool? Did we find that there was a ruler tool? Don't think we did we?
I don't think so. I think you were just using straight line implements in the real world.
Alright, let me find another straight line implement. I've got with me a piece of paper that will count as a straight line implement. So I'm just going to take the bottom of the door as being a line. Straight line. Oh! I accidentally skipped forward or backwards. There we go. Wait, what happened? Where did all these come from? What's going on here?
Hey.
Maybe it doesn't like me putting paper on the screen.
We just got raided by Go Pirate Software and the raid call is, what are you doing?
I don't know what I'm doing. I did something wrong. Hey Go Pirate, how's it going? How was your stream? We're doing the Animorning challenge reviews this morning.
So this Animorning challenge was to take a paragraph from a book that you enjoy and to animate that paragraph. And so while we recommended it to take 3 hours and keep the paragraph pretty short and concise, you found out that you're bad at QA and fixed a ton of stuff in Spanish. Nice.
Good job. Good job on those fixes. Okay. The paper kind of works as a ruler. It leaves a bit of debris behind it, but it's okay.
And so India's giving animation feedback. Diat says, oh my god, Ninja Sex Party. If you're unfamiliar with us, we're animators and colorists for Knights of the Light Table. And so the shot that comes up, we made, along with the other Knights of the Light Table.
We've done a bunch of stuff. So here's something. If you want to find the perspective of your scene, you can pretty much just follow the lines to a horizon point. If I was to follow this corner line here, it would... Oh my gosh. Sorry, I figured out what it is. It's because the touch is on, so anytime that a part of my hand touches the screen, it tries to draw a line there. But yeah, if you follow the line here to the horizon, your horizon is going to be like... Mike, what are you doing?
I didn't do anything. This wasn't me.
What do you mean it's not you? It's gotta be you.
Sorry.
It's no one else it could be. You're the only person in control of OBS.
I just went to type into the chat. I literally just went to type into this. I'm sorry.
Okay. What I was saying is that if you follow this line all the way through, then your horizon line's going to be really high up. And I don't think you want it to be that high up. From the perspective that I can see, what is happening on today's stream,
OBS
guys?
is just fucking, I don't know.
It's rebelled. I don't think you want the horizon line that high up, because that would mean that we're really looking down on this person.
Yeah.
I think you'd agree, Mike. So
I would agree.
I would adjust that angle so that your horizon line is a little bit flatter. Probably put the horizon line like, or the vanishing point somewhere like that.
You probably want to put the vanishing point like where the position of the door is, right? So the line, the perspective lines are leading to it.
Look at that big brain.
Sorry,
big
wrinkles.
brain Doig. Yeah, so wrinkly. Such a wrinkly brain. Yeah, so if I was to just take this over here.
Thor is like that friend that wants you to get a new friend that they know, and they're like, see, I told you they were nice. We're usually a lot more together than this.
Normally we don't have 17 different sound effects happening on stream at the same time. I don't know what's going on today, guys.
I think, thankfully, I have the desktop audio muted, so it's only us that are getting like the weird sounds all the time.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
I'm happy about that. So, you can see here that you have like, you've implied the top of a shape here, which implies to me that it's standing out from the wall. But looking at the bottom is flush with the wall. So unless the shape, it's just here. So unless the shape looking at it sideways is this, that doesn't really make sense. So you just want to make sure that if you're pushing a shape out of the wall, that it's actually like doing a small overlap. And I'd say the same thing with the door. So over here when the door opens, make sure it's opening into the room. So it's overlapping that background floor plane because it's coming forward in space over the top of the floor. If anything I'm saying is like confusing or badly worded, Mike, if you could clarify for me, that'd be great.
No, you seem good so far.
Okay.
I will say I was only I was paying 2/3 attention because I'm trying to watch everything that's going on.
So say like this is our vanishing point, just here. Let me just check that lines up okay. Yeah, that lines up okay. So I'm gonna use that to find the top of this thing you've drawn against the wall here. So let's say it's that, and I'm just drawing a line straight from the vanishing point. To get that. And because it's slightly above the vanishing point, we're not going to see the top of it. So back when you had your initial perspective, we definitely have seen the top of that because the vanishing point was so high. Mm-hmm. So it was below the horizon line. But now that the top is slightly above the horizon line, we're not going to see the top of it anymore.
Yeah, once you've established your horizontal like horizon line, anything above, you'll be able to look from underneath at, and anything below the horizon line, you start to be able to see the top of the surface. Yeah.
I can't help but feel like if my tablet wasn't trying to use touch all the time, I'd have been able to draw this slightly better, but...
Maybe a Windows update has completely...
trashed both of our computers.
Yeah. Like, I could not turn off touch on my Cintiq last night. So I wonder if a Windows update has hit us both.
But yeah, so drawing outwards from this, we'd probably be able to see the inside of the door frame a little bit. So this will basically just dictate for you like how the perspective will work, and that will really help with the solid drawing of the background. And I think that this knowledge will help you with the solid drawing of everything else as well, the characters, etc.
Oh, yeah, our overlay usually looks like this. I will ask though that don't use the bombs, but
don't use them too much. It's just like in reviews like this, it can get a bit.
Yeah, I just don't want the I just don't want our characters floating around over the top of the reviews. So that's this. We're a bird and a bear. Whoop, whoop.
So let me write perspective. Vanishing point. And I'll put it'll help you. It'll help you with the background.
Yeah. So it's a bit mad at the moment.
Yeah, it's a bit bonkers. So so I'm not sure exactly what the paragraph is, and in retrospect maybe we should have asked people to let us know what it was so we would know how they were interpreting it, but
I'm not sure they're in the chat at the moment.
Yeah, but here we have the door sliding open, and then a thump come from the door, and a thump's conveyed in onomatopoeic text that comes out from the door, and I can't help but think that it might help to convey that without you needing to actually write thump, because obviously the aim as an animator is always to be able to convey things without having to literally write what's happening, unless you're going for a comic book style, in which case having those kind of sound effects might be a deliberate choice. But if it's not a deliberate choice, I think there's a way that we can convey that thump without you needing to write it. I think what you could do is, rather than have the door slide open, then have a thump come out from behind it, you could have a camera shake of an impact.
Ooh.
And then have the door like swing open in a harsher way to imply that something has hit the door and pushed it open a little bit. And then it could start to drift closed again.
Yeah,
and you could zoom through it.
I really like that idea.
So like something's hit the door and pushed it open a little bit. So you could have it closed all the way up to like here, then have a camera shake and the door swing open a little bit. I think that movement would also help to motivate the character's turn. Because right now we have the door sliding open behind them as they're laughing, and then we have the thump come out, and they stop and look behind them.
Mm-hmm.
But if instead the door slides open after the impact and they stop and look behind them, I feel like you can imply that they've maybe heard the squeak of the door as well. I think visually it will draw your eye over to that, so you're more in the character's head because you're experiencing with them, realizing something's wrong at the same moment.
Yeah.
So I would say maybe put a little note up here.
Visually as well, you could choose to change the color of the scene to reflect the change in mood.
Closed till here. Plus add camera shake for impact. And impact against door. Causes it to swing open. This is where having the original text would help though, just because I don't know if this door has like something's motivated it to swing open. But yeah, I think the vanishing point will really help with the character, solid drawing. I think the laugh is nice. It might feel a little bit regular at the minute. Like it's very obviously a cycle. And I think that you could change that up a little bit by throwing a few wild frames in there, because laughs are very irregular in their timing.
Can you describe to us what a wild frame would be?
It would be throwing a frame into the cycle that isn't there on previous or following cycles.
So it's kind of like
to throw off the rhythm.
1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 4, 5, 4, 2, 1.
I'm sorry, I'm lost.
Like if you numbered the frames, and you had if your cycle is currently 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, then you could have 1, 2.
1, 2, 4, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
1, 4, 2, 3, 1. Like just throwing the frames around a bit.
Yeah.
Will help.
Yeah.
And I just think you want a few more extreme positions in here to make it a bit less regular. I like the reaction. I think it's nice having the head tilt down and then having those sweat beads continue and then having the turn as the camera pulls past them.
Yep, that's nice.
Is all really nice. Lovely arc there on the nose as well. Good job with that.
If you could do it as well, you could move the character at a slightly faster rate than the background, and it'll show that they're more in the foreground.
Oh yeah, get that parallax going
on. Parallax is like parallel motion something. Or I actually don't know what the definition of parallax is particularly, just what the effect looks like. And it's different objects moving at different rates dependent upon their depth from the camera. So we usually call that Z depth, and it's just how far away something is. And if you're ever like in a car and you're looking out the window, you'll see that the things closest to the road will move faster, whereas the things further away feel like they move at a slower pace.
They move slower relative to the camera if you're animating them. Yeah, I mean, you obviously like, you know what you're after with the animation, because I like here how you have brought the shoulders up in anticipation, then brought them down as the head comes up. Like, there's some nice stuff in here. In terms of the turn and everything. In terms of the solid drawing, I think you just want to look for, the main thing you want to look for is consistency in your shapes. So looking at, for example, the earphone here, having that change size as it goes, and the kind of central piece changing size too. You just want to watch stuff like that. Really make sure that, you know, you've tightened down the spacing of that, that you've got it feeling really consistent there. So let me give you an example.
Hey Porky, welcome.
So if this is your shape and we're looking up at it, you might want to show the bottom of it a little bit and then have the central bit be more like this. So you're showing the perspective.
I was gonna suggest doing a like a crosshair line or a contour line. Thanks.
And then we have it going up a little bit as the head comes round. But we also see more of the side here. So here you would want to show more of the side and keep that shape more consistent with itself between the two frames.
I'm just gonna welcome Porky Boy.
Yeah, Porky!
Thank you for the raid, dude. How are you doing?
Porky! How's it going? I saw more of your stuff on Twitter today. Super awesome. I saw some stuff you'd done for Digimon.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
Looking awesome, dude. I think he Porky's also been working on what's the anime with the egg?
Oh, Wonder Egg.
Yeah, I think Porky's
you worked on Wonder Egg.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Porky. The animation in that show is like so beyond incredible.
He says Wonder Egg, yeah.
I love Wonder Egg.
Good job, dude.
Yeah, incredible work. Wow. I'm like a huge fan of that show, so that's really cool. Not that I'm not a huge fan of Digimon.
Thank you for all the follows. Thank you.
I love Digimon, but I have not seen the latest season. The stuff that you posted on Twitter looked super dope, though. So yeah, thinking about solid drawing is just basically like really taking your time with this stuff and trying to make sure that you're keeping things consistent shape-wise. So that the eases and stuff really sell.
Dietz asked, did you guys follow studies on animation or do you learn by yourselves?
It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to answer that. Sorry if I was pausing. It's just there was something playing on our side from OBS because it's going crazy. Yeah. But It's kind of hard to answer because I feel like, because I did do a lot of studies when I was learning by myself.
Yeah, but you don't learn in a vacuum. I think.
Yeah, exactly. Like the studies I did were studying other artists' work and talking to other artists while I was learning by myself. But learning by myself included looking at a lot of other people's work. So it's like, I feel like I owe what I know about animation to having looked at a lot of other animators' work.
Mm-hmm.
And so therefore I don't really feel like it feels like learning by myself, even though I was doing self-study.
I think if you're asking whether we went to college or anything like that, then we both each did, yeah.
Yes. We've both been to university. Though obviously I continued like learning after university by doing self-study. Because self-study rocks.
Self-study does rock. Yep.
And you always want to be like trying to push it and get better. But yeah, so consistency for solid drawing.
I do think it's possible now, though, to learn the fundamentals through online courses or peers or like peer review.
That's the thing, is there are so many resources out there. You're essentially doing what you will be doing in university outside of university anyway. Yeah. Like there are so many courses and resources and artists to look at that you essentially have the same it's the same stuff that you would get inside the building, outside of the building. And I think sometimes people kind of idolize university courses thinking that they're going to teach them more than they do.
Well, I think at the time that I went to university, a lot of resources were on things distributed by DVD. And so those were vastly expensive per DVD. But at the library at the university, they had the whole collection that you could rent out. And so you could get those resources easier. But now, like,
it's all online.
It's changed from being it's changed from a model where you spend a lot to get a little. And by that I mean like a lot, like $70 for one DVD. Now you can sort of like, the artists are able to subsist because they can sell the same material for $5 to many people. So like rather than selling like 100 DVDs, they can sell 1,000, 10,000 things and still make it back. So it makes it more approachable to get the same sort of material for a lot lower buy-in, because more people are able to support the same individual because they're able to pay for them directly rather than paying a company like Nomon that then distribute it to the artist. You can get a lot of material now through Gumroads and Patreons and all that sort of stuff.
Well, let's put it this way. When I went to university, my course was based upon the Animated Survival Guide, which is a book that you can buy for about $25.
Yeah.
And my entire course was going through that book. And the DVDs that you're talking about, that was $700 for us for the entire set, was the Animated Survival Guide DVD set, which is now available on YouTube for free.
Yeah. It shouldn't be, but
what
it
I feel like we were really paying for was the space to work, the software we were using, and the time to do it.
Yeah.
If you have a space to work software and time, then the only thing you're missing is the social experience.
I think the social experience is really important though. So you don't want to
No, I do too, but
No.
I just think a lot of people come out of university feeling bitter about spending their money on going to it because they were expecting more when they went there than they got.
Yeah, what I'm trying to say is that I think if you are learning online, then you can't overlook the benefits of that social experience and developing your social skills, because that'll benefit you. Thank you for the raid, by the way.
Thank you so much.
Welcome in. That will really benefit you in like working collaboratively later, is the ability to communicate with others, like respond well to social situations, manage your stress and your anxiety around around people.
And
That's
just
something
have
that
fun
university puts you through.
with other animators. Like
Yeah.
getting to geek out with other animators about stuff is awesome.
But yeah, thank you for the raid. Tristreams, we're a couple of goofs. Welcome in if you've not been here before. Today, Indy and I, we're doing what we call an Animorning challenge, which is usually a weekly to bi-weekly challenge that we set. It's usually like around animating something. And now India's giving feedback and advice to each of the submissions. So that gives you the context of what we're doing.
Yeah. I hope that's helpful. Like, I think the only thing this really needs is, I think working on that consistency of the characters, so you can tighten up the spacing a little bit. Like, for example, between this frame and this frame, it would be nice to have more of an ease. Like adding a few more frames in there. Make sure everything's consistent and just looking at your perspective and really using that to solidify the environment. And also just using it to solidify your character drawings, because knowing your perspective is so helpful in so many scenarios. Trust me, as someone who's worked on a show that was like very perspective heavy, knowing what your perspective grid is in relation to your characters is so helpful when doing things like forced perspective on the characters. Yeah, amazing job.
Thank you so much for your submission.
What was this challenge's theme? We basically said to people, find a paragraph in one of your favourite books that you think would make a good short animation, and then go for it. iFuyu says, I want to work in an anime. I want to be on WebGen anime. How do I get invited onto an anime? Porky's a good person to ask about that.
Yeah, I just typed into the chat that Porky Boys currently is and does that.
Yes. I think, I don't know what Porky's going to say, but I think in general, just like do really good work by yourself without being on an anime. That is the kind of stuff you want to do, and make sure you post it online.
Yeah, you want to be able to showcase that you're able to do it, and the best way of doing that is just sharing your work.
Whenever I've been contacted for any kind of freelance gigs like that, it's been people just seeing my work on Twitter and being like, hey, do you want to come and help us with this? So just make sure you've got the work first. I don't know where the phone is. Is it not in your pocket? Alright, we're going to hop over to... Hey, the animated moon! Okay. I love the texture already of these clouds. Have a look. Yeah, moody. Oh, cool. Oh, nice. I see. So we've got the rain and the thunder's crackling, and then the thunder hits the weather vane.
Oh.
And it falls into the foreground.
That's cool. Is this a squirrel type character?
Looks like it. So do you want to read what Steiny said?
Steiny said didn't give us any context for this, but he's in the chat, so
hey, yo, there you are. Hello.
If you wanna let us know either like what the book is or what the paragraph was, any kind of context.
I'm just looking through it as we do, so don't take my silence as like anything other than me just looking at this.
I think the impact frame to highlight the sword is really cool.
Agreed.
I will say though that the impact frame has the sword sideways, so I'm not necessarily sure it was the weather vane or not.
Well, it's this at the top.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Just here. I think
I get you.
I think the issue right now that I'm seeing is that, to me, this weather vane gets lost here in the shape of the impacts. It gets lost here in the shape of the impact, so it's harder for me to... It was hard for... at the first watch through, I didn't see that this had been struck off the top of the tower and was coming towards camera.
Yeah.
Because, like, it very much... Here it looks like it might be a line from the explosion. Mm-hmm. Here the same, it looks like it could be a bit of rain or a line from the explosion.
Yeah.
And then here it's very hidden in the clouds.
Yes.
So I think maybe something easy to do that would be able to sort through this a little bit is just to, like, color code things a little bit. Like, you could make the rain more of a blue and semi-transparent it a bit. Or you could give the weather vane a very, like, deliberate line with a fill or something, so it's easy to see, because at the minute it's just being lines. It's getting lost in the lines of everything else. So something more like, let me show you what I mean.
Animated Moon says this was from one of the Redwall books, Salamandastron.
I did wonder if it was Redwall because of the squirrel.
Mm-hmm. The sword was tied to the weather vane in a previous book.
Oh.
So yeah.
Super cool. So,
what was your advice here?
My advice here is, if you see I'm like, rather than having it just be one line, I'm properly, like, outlining the shape and giving it a fill. I think that is going to help it stand out. So you see now it's very clear.
Yeah.
Where the shape is.
Going from and to. Yeah. I think a big help here as well, if you're working quickly and you're under a time limit, is any important elements that you want to highlight. Like India's doing here, use red or another color just to pick it out. And that way it's a lot easier to get a beat on and a read on what it would look like potentially in the final.
Yeah, the Animated Moon says, I did intend to shade everything but ran out of time. Yeah, totally understandable. It's a very tight time limit. I can understand that. I'm also looking at what Pokeboy's advice was.
Oh, yeah.
Pokeboy's linked some YouTube channels to check out for people interested in doing anime work.
So he's recommending Tanari Animation, Dong Chang, and Nika Ch. And then said, and agreed, after watching those and understanding how layout annotations work, start posting online. Personal assistants will reach out to you when they see the work matches the type of work the studios there do.
Yeah. Awesome. Hold on, we got a crow mail. Crow mail! We've got a crow mail from Wasabi Cheetah who says, alright, listen. This is such a catastrophe. Don't even get me started on how much Doig needs his own mail. Clearly, you all haven't been getting my telepathy letters. I'm so livid, I'm wiggling with furious anger. Sorry for missing your telepathy letters, Wasabi. Yeah, we should have bear mail, because then when I'm doing these, you can be doing the bear mail instead of the crow mail.
Yeah. Could do. Or
so yeah,
not do that.
I love this impact frame. I do think it would be nice to also see the top of the tower here a little bit too. Just thinking about what will be illuminated by the light of this lightning. Having like...
Because then you would have compositional marks that lead your eye from like the outside of the frame up to, you know, it's literally a big arrow. Mm-hmm. Look at the sword.
Look at the sword.
I just want to add here as well that I recently saw a cover artwork that Steiny, the Animated Moon, had made. And dude, it's gorgeous. The colors in it are beautiful.
Have I seen this?
I don't know if you've seen it. I think it was posted very, very recently. Ula says, I think if you love Doig, you do not make a bear mail.
Damn it. Bear mail though. Ow, wow, wow. Sorry, I'm
They
going,
can't hear that.
They can't hear. I keep remembering they can't hear it after I've already paused to let it play or accompanied it. But yeah, we keep getting things from our waiting screen playing audibly over here for us.
Wait, you can hear it? Oh, no.
You can hear. Okay, well, no, that's good because at least then you guys know why I'm pausing every now and then. Is there no way you can turn the audio for that off?
Only slightly though. I think it's coming through our microphones.
Oh, gotcha.
You couldn't hear it, but you're deaf. How do the microphones sound today? By the way, because I've changed them a little bit, and it looks like they might be picking up more of each of us, or they're like, I don't know. I tried to follow someone's advice on YouTube of like how to get them sounding better, because I noticed on our recent playthroughs of Breath of the Wild that we sounded a little bit gainy when we were yelling. So hopefully this is a little bit better.
Yeah, so I've added in an indication. Sorry, it's not brilliantly drawn, but an indication of the tower just being lit by that lightning strike. And I've also pulled out the lightning strike more because I think that's a really important storytelling element. To really make sure that lightning reads. And then it looks like here you have an inverse impact frame. So again, like really lean into that. Lightning is super important here. And then maybe what I would do is I would pick out the shadows of the tower instead. To really give it like that black-white 1-2 punch. If this is indeed what you're doing.
Yeah, I think we had the compressor like adding a bit too much auto leveling before. But yeah, we got a gate, a compressor, and an EQ on our microphones now.
Like inverse that and show us the shadows.
Ooh.
Again, draw it better than I've drawn it. But take the idea. Take the idea and make the idea good, you know? And then I'm going to erase that there. Cool. So here, just same dealio. Just make sure that you're like picking out the sword by just making sure it's not just a line. Making sure that it's a definable shape that we can track with our eyeballs. Especially when... Nice here having the lightning ping to it. That's nice. Especially when it starts to like overlap this bit here. Yeah. Just so we can keep tracking it with our eyes. So here, where it goes past cam, I think there's a really nice opportunity. I think some of the dynamism of the scene is lost a little bit in the long pause after it passes cam and the long pause here before it falls into the ground. I think that if you let it pass cam like you do and then whip to follow it and then start this scene whipping down, you'll maintain a lot of the dynamism and movement in there. So I'd wait maybe like, let's see, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. I'd wait maybe till here. And then start cam whipping down. And hide the cut in the whip. It'll give you like this nice feeling of momentum of the camera like looking down and then coming to settle on this squirrel. So it would start easing and then go fast in the middle and ease back in. So think of it as a cushioning in and cushioning out.
It'll feel like we've fallen with the sword.
Yeah. And hide cut. Hide cut in whip. You whip the scene back and forth. So the whip would probably only need to be like 3 or 4 frames. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. So we've got like nearly 30 frames at the minute. And I think that's maybe what's contributing to it feeling like it loses a bit of a momentum. And then likewise here, we would start the whip coming down into the scene. And the whip would probably end about here. End whip down. You could even give it a little bit of a handheld cam feel, which might be nice when it comes down. Giving things a handheld cam feel always gives an air of panic.
Like a frenetic energy to the
yeah,
shot.
Because it implies that it's being captured spontaneously, rather than having some like a scene set up.
So that would just be like adding a little bit of noise to the up and down.
Yeah.
And left and right here. I learned a cool way to do that in Blender. You can procedurally generate some handheld noise. I can share that in a bit.
Yeah. So this sword is meant to be squirrel sized, right?
Yeah, I think it would be.
I think so, yeah. Because I'd be tempted to make it maybe a little bit bigger. Just to like really push that. Probably also angle it a little bit. Just to push the scene depth a little bit.
Oh, Steiny says that it's technically mouse sized.
Gotcha. So it's actually like a little bit smaller. Dang! Because
So
I want that pushed perspective, you know?
Yeah. So you wouldn't want the
Dang.
You wouldn't want the sword to kind of look like it matches the scale of the squirrel. Squirrels are a little bit bigger than mice, right?
Yeah, they are. So the scale that Steiny's using is correct, basically.
Yeah.
And if we were to push the perspective here, then the squirrel would be off screen.
You could start closer a little bit and have the you could start from kind of mid like waist up on the squirrel and get that kind of like, oh crap, and then you would be closer to where the sword was landing.
Could. Maybe we can get impact another way. Maybe we just have it land a little bit closer to cam. Let's see. I'd maybe skew it a little bit. Because I think having it straight makes it feel less like it's impromptu landed into the ground without being like pushed there. So I'd maybe have it like more like this. And then I think we could have lightning crackling down it. Still.
Ooh.
Like there's residual lightning.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I think that would maybe draw your eye a little bit more. And compensate for not being able to have that impact of like a really forced perspective on it to make it look super big.
Steiny says that they wanted to add that, but they didn't have time. But they wanted to, dang it.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea, and can have the shadow stretching back as well. You could have the shadow stretching forward to land over the top of the squirrel. I'm not quite sure how to work that out, but you could do it. Might be pretty dope. But for now, you could have the shadow stretching off out of cam. Worth saying also is that if you have stuff like lightning, then you can basically get away with hiding stuff in the flashes. I can't say what project, but in the past, there's been scenes I've done where there's been lightning going off, and the flashes of lightning have allowed me to hide cuts in the flashes, which I think is just a really nice way to use the lightning as an organic way to switch between different scenes.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, here, where the entire world goes white for a sec, like, you can have that here on the impact when it hits the ground.
Yeah.
And you can have the flashes when this character is looking at the sword to, like, really highlight this drama and throw the shadows behind and such. Thinking about, like, cool stuff you could do with those flashes to continue amping up the drama.
I think that's a great suggestion. Yeah.
So that here you just have, like, lightning continue to play along the blade a little bit. The only other bit of feedback I think I would give here is just that, again, in the interest of keeping the dynamism up, I worry a little bit that this reaction might be a little too slow after the whip pan. But I think when you have the whip pan in, you'll be able to see better if it is or not. But you may need to just, like, either put some of this on ones or cut a few frames to really make it feel like they don't have much time to get away before the sword is coming in. Like, consider having the sword coming in, like, here-ish, instead of 2 frames later, just as they're springing away, to really feel like it's a close miss. I was thinking earlier as to whether it would be worth putting the squirrel's reaction, this reaction, where it's just looking, in earlier, so that when you cut back to the squirrel, you can just have it immediately, like, running, because you already know it's looking at this.
I think that's a really good idea.
So you would have, like, the thunder and the squirrel looking, and then it would strike the sword, and you would just have the reaction of the squirrel being like, oh shit, and then running, and you wouldn't have to have the time of the squirrel being established. But I don't know if that would work or not. I kind of like this long hold on the top of the tower. I think that's nice as well. So the storytelling I will leave up to you, because obviously you're an extremely competent storyteller. I think the whip pan is going to help a lot, and then from there you can see how it feels. And if you still feel like maybe it's a little bit slow, you can take out a few frames here or there.
No pressure on this, Steiny, but do you think you'll keep working on this? Because I think it's a really nice, it's a nice moment to showcase like effects animation, staging, character animation. Like, it's a really nice thing to kind of showcase your current skill level. I think it'd be worth finishing up.
Yeah, I think maybe you have a slight tendency to over animate. So for example, I don't think we really need this in between on 2s. I think if the character is, like, falling, then that's going to be happening pretty quickly. So I think you could cut straight from this pose to this pose, or even that pose. That's something that anime does really, really well, that I've learned a lot from working on a lot of anime-inspired productions, is they really, like, get the important poses down and work between those. So I think here, when we have them jumping away, you could go straight to you could go straight to this without needing this in between here. And I think at this bit here where they fall as well, scaling them down here to the vanishing point will really make it feel like they're sliding across the ground.
Yeah.
Because here they feel like they're a bit smaller, which is awesome. It feels like they've slid away. But here it doesn't feel like they're really moving away from the camera.
Mm-hmm.
So making sure that this bit feels like it's sliding away too. Because that does. Like, between these two, it feels like the character's traveling away from the cam.
Yeah, so you want to keep up that momentum.
Yeah, but these three at the beginning here don't really. So just make sure that it feels like the scaling here is consistent. As soon as they hit this frame, hit floor, start scaling to show that slide. And then if you really want to like add that extra oomph to bring it up to the next level, consider having some effects when they hit the floor, like some dust as they're kind of dragged backwards.
Great idea.
That can disperse. Because just imagine, just imagine. We've got like the dust settling, and we've got like the lightning crackling, and we've got the background flashing. It would be super epic.
Yeah, because you could also, if you went for it, you could like front and then backlight the smoke, the dust as well.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot of work, so it's up to you. Yeah. But if you got to the point with this where you wanted to proof it up and you wanted to like go that extra mile, then those are things you could do to really up the drama.
That's a good point. If it is raining, then it might be like more like mud getting kicked up, so you'd have something a little bit more slick.
Oh yeah, great point. You could even have if I take this.
Steiny was like, not sure how dusty things would be in the rain, but rain would look cool here as well.
Yeah, that's a great point, Steiny. So you would have more like, you could have like a sludge trail of where they've stood along the ground, which might be cool.
Kicked up grass and mud and things like that.
Yeah, exactly. Like when they hit here, you can have like some clumps of earth be kicked up and bits of splashy mud as they hit into the puddle. Look at that terrible splash. That terrible splash. The worst. It's a good job Tibbs isn't here to call me out on my terrible effects animation.
Tibbs just slides in. Hello
there. I heard my name.
Summoned by the internet. That's how it works, right? You just say someone's name and they appear.
Shut up! Sassy.
Between this and the next one, I'm gonna switch this over to the starting screen, and I'm gonna kill the fan art slideshow.
Destroy it.
And then come back. So, just let me know when you're gonna be. Oh, that's a nice shape. Right, you're done. That's good.
I'm done. Do it.
Okay.
Go.
I'm sorry, slideshow. I'm sorry.
We love you, slideshow.
We love you.
Maybe we need a disable slideshow button that we can just hit when we go into the main mode.
It should shut down source when not visible, but it was clearly still going. So, I'm gonna get rid of you for now. There we go. So hopefully that'll shush now.
Okay, amazing. Thank you so much, Animated Moon. This is super cool. I love it. Makes you really want to read the Red Wall books. Right, hopping over to Kurzek.
Yeah.
Now, does Kurzek have sound?
Kurzek does have sound. And so gonna put the desktop audio on. That's why I thought it was important. Hopefully you will be able to hear it.
Animated Moon says, you should, they're fantastic. Maybe I will. Okay, let's see if we can hear this. So this is at Kurzek. Sorry, my thing balked. There we go. Ooh. Jeez, Kurzek. Can I give you any feedback? I don't know if I've got anything to give you.
I could hear it. I don't know if the stream could.
So what should we start with?
You can, awesome.
What should we start with? Like this amazing build-up with the music and then this reveal. What a cool composition, Kurzek. What a cool composition. What cool storytelling, Kurzek. What a cool composition, Kurzek. What a cool composition, Kurzek. This is really awesome. I love this. Look at this. What an amazing, gorgeous, like lovely impact on the door opening. So see how Kurzek here just opens a tiny bit, then it's open. Like really gives you that impact. No in-betweens needed. Nice bit of character acting here as well. Like just in terms of the action on the body you've got going on here. So yeah, this skewed Dutch angle long shot down of the character, making them feel small with a long cast shadow. Just like, I love this setup. It's awesome. Yeah, the little settle after stepping in is really nice too. Lovely.
So, notes from the Kurzek.
I don't know if I have any, dude.
No, from.
From, yes, please.
First off, if possible, please play this with sound on. It'll help greatly with the mood I tried to make. If it doesn't work on Synth Sketch, here's an unlisted YouTube link. Cool. It worked. I hope. Okay. I struggled most with getting started, knowing there was some funky perspective work involved, and that not being my biggest forte.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of her smallest forte.
Tiny forte.
Though I did spend way more than 3 hours on all of this, I tried to at least put the 3-hour limit on the actual character animation. I'm aware that there's some wobbliness going on in the hands and feet that I would like to fix in a tie-down phase. The animation was based off of one line in the book Guardians of Childhood, War of Dreams. It reads, "He opened the door and sealed his doom." The character Cosmodus, though thought he heard the voice of his lost daughter coming out of the prison filled with nightmarish creatures he single-handedly guarded, but the creatures tricked him and would end up corrupting after this scene.
Wow, cool. Cool story. Sounds like it's a mouthful of a title for a book, but the scenario sounds super cool.
And now we get some cheery music.
Yeah, Ula suggests not having the character jump as he opens a door. So rather to like step in more. Let's see, I'm gonna take a look at this the animation. The timing to the music here, Kurzek, is really nice. Did you find this piece first? Or did you like cobble this together from a bunch of different things because you had a very strong idea in mind from the beginning? Yeah, lovely staggers on the creatures.
There's no music?
I'm just scrubbing. It's not music, there's no music. I edited some sound bits. Yeah, so it's all sound effects.
Oh, no. I meant I played music on the stream.
Oh, okay. Good for you.
Okay. What happened there was I said I'll just play some cheery music, and I meant the soundtrack that I'm playing on the stream after that description being very like he sealed his doom.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I guess one thing that I could say, get ready for me to nitpick because it's all I can do, is I think maybe the eyes feel a little bit regular here in the darkness. I think that you could vary the size, shape, distance of them a little bit more. Because right now they feel very evenly spaced, almost. Between the eyes between themselves and the eye sets with one another, both feel quite regular, almost like there's a stamp brush. I think that if you varied that up and made it less uniform, it would feel a little bit creepier.
If you had, because it feels like we're up high and there's eyes that could potentially be closer to us in height. If they were larger and it went down to like small towards him, that would be cool.
That's a good point too, yeah. Is that the eyes don't feel like they they increase in size as they get higher up and closer to the camera. And I think you could push that perspective. That's a great note, Mike.
Kurzik is saying that Guardians of Childhood is the book series that was the base for the movie Rise of the Guardians. The scene is the origin of the villain.
Oh.
Is the scene is the origin of the villain Pitch Black? Of course it is.
What do you mean?
Of course it. Well, this is the equivalent of a Rickroll from Kurzik.
How come?
Because she loves that character. But she used a way
I was
around.
not aware that she super loved that character, so to me I'm just like, cool. Your reaction is like, why are you sighing in exasperation about Pitch Black?
Look at her in the chat right now.
Got him. Is that something that she talks about a lot on Bloodborne or something?
No, it's just like something I know about her is like she really likes that character. So when there was the villain prompt at one point, she was animating
amazing
Pitch and any chance she gets.
So here, I think one of the notes that I could give you is that the zoom, I didn't realize it was motivated by these tentacles coming in from the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
So I think it would be nice to see the tentacles before we start the zoom so that it really feels like the tentacles are closing in and not that the camera's closing in. Because at first I just read it as the camera closing in, and I think it's because the camera move and the tentacles are so synced together that we don't really notice them because they almost get hidden in the camera move. I don't really notice them until we get to about here. Also, there's the aspect of contrast here where we have these very dark black tentacles going into this very dark space in the room where there's not much contrast between them and the dark grey background. So I'm still looking like, as a viewer, I'm still looking here.
Yeah.
And like at this whole situation that's happening. I'm not looking at these. And so I think what you could do is to give us an indication that something's going to happen down here. Like an easy fix might be simply to add a few little highlights onto the tentacles from the door.
Can you scrub through again?
Yeah. What is it?
I think what could be a nice idea here is that the tentacles could like, see how you got the tentacles around the edge. If light is like something that, because I'm interpreting this as like a darkness, like a creature, a sentient darkness. If they retracted a little from the light when the door opened, so you had that anticipation and that build up, it could be like, ooh, out, and then they all come crashing back in. Yeah. And then you would expect something to happen, like you would build up that expectation that these things are like, oh.
You could definitely have that, for sure. I don't know whether Kurzek wants it as a reveal though, when the eyes open that does something there. And have you not so much notice at the beginning until the eyes open?
Fair.
But yeah, what I was saying was with the tentacles here, you could either, as you say, Kurzek, you could start them a little bit before the cam move starts. A little bit more before the cam move starts. At the minute, they're 2 frames before. Start it a little bit before the cam moves, like maybe give it 6 frames or so, and delay the cam move a little bit. Or you could have tentacles come actually close to the camera. Like, what if you had some tentacles just like start creeping and overlapping here at the edges of the frame, like kind of going down, so that they're going to do this. And you can pick out just the edge of them with a little bit of light. I think having some foreground elements move close, because you could have them set up there from the beginning, but have them not very noticeable because they haven't done anything. And then it's another layer of movement that you're adding to this scene when the audience realizes that something close to the cam is kind of moving. It will draw their eyes down there. And I think it will make the cam move feel more motivated by the tentacles moving.
Like it.
That's my suggestion. but you can take it or leave it.
But yeah, great staging. Great motion. Very good.
Great balls of fire!
Is there anything towards the end where we get close to the character that you...
I'm going to have a look. I just want to finish doing this note.
Fair enough.
Just give me a sec to draw these in.
Look, there's even a grid.
Yeah, there is. And I bet that grid was super helpful when you were working out this perspective. But yeah, so we have this zoom in start. Lovely spacing on the zoom in. Starts with very tight spacing and gets gradually, as you can see here, closer and closer and faster as we go. Nice use of speed lines as well there. Nice perspective. I'm just seeing if there's anything I can see. Also, this is just really fun to do.
This is kind of aside from the critique, but I thought I saw it when you were scrubbing there, was like some of the tentacles attacking his shadow.
Oh yeah?
It made me start thinking of instances where, like, if this monster like stole your shadow or something, and it just like it just went for his shadow, ripped it off. But it's just ideas that, you know, when you tangential ideas.
Yeah.
Or like it latched onto the shadow and then pulled him in from there.
Yeah. I'm just wondering if in scenes like this, sorry, in framing like this, you could bring the tentacles in more as you have with the speed lines. So he feels almost like more surrounded by these big shapes coming in from various angles. So it's really like it's closing in on him from all corners completely. You know, I don't know why it took my tentacle off that I drew, but I drew a tentacle and then it was like, no, you can't have this tentacle. I'm erasing it.
No tentacle for you.
No tentacle for you.
Yo, thanks for the bits.
So getting these tentacles coming in more like this might be fun. Let me take them off here. I don't know. Look at this little wiggly boy.
Wiggly
Wiggly boy. Take them off here. Yeah. That's all my suggestions is you could surround him more with them. I'd make sure the cam really feels motivated by them. You could adjust the sizes of the eyes to give them more variety in the spacing and the shape, and you could show the perspective there a bit more. In terms of the actual animation, I think you've done a great job. You've called out the hands and feet. Honestly, I didn't really notice them even. I was too fixated on the face.
What if when the tentacles are getting close and you're getting close to the eye, the reflection of the tentacles in the eye, the tentacles come out of the pupil?
Oh, that could be cool. Because I was thinking you could do something like this. Where it's like they're closing in.
Oh, they could close in, yeah.
But you're thinking that it would make more sense to have them be like, because he's looking at them.
Yeah.
Coming towards him.
And they would be like coming out of his pupil. So it's a setup for the fact that
it's the reflection of what he's seeing.
Yeah.
But also it's metaphorical.
Yeah.
Because it's again showing you that he's either becoming this
Yeah.
or he's about to be grasped by this, depending on which one you want to go with.
And if through the story, like they attracted him because of some part of him that they're calling out to, it's like they're connecting with he's reaching out with his darkness to the darkness of the creature.
I think that's a great note, Mike. It's a great idea. Yeah, the only other note that I would give would be that where this wraps around his waist, I'd love that to have like more impact, but I think the only way you'd be able to do that is with more frames, and you don't have more frames, so I'm not going to give you that note because I'm not sure how to solve the problem. Like, for example, here I would have this be more of an anticipation frame where it hasn't quite curled around him yet, and then curl around him here, but I don't think there's really room in the frame to do it. So I didn't want to give you a note that I didn't know how to execute myself. I think it works as it is. I think you've done an incredible job, because like this is super duper cool.
It's super cool.
I love it. You did an incredible job. Incredible job! And great job with the sound effects too. Holy Toledos.
Yeah, that's a whole other part to it that like added so much to it.
Yeah. Love the staging so much. Staging's probably my absolute favourite. And then this is... Let's see.
Dis?
Who dis?
I'm gonna guess.
Just gonna skip in. Okay.
Maybe Rust Nutty? Who we got left? We got... Well... Martina said that their quote was, "And I want to be the couch. I want to be on the couch with very dirty shoes." So I think this might be Rust Nutty. Paragraphs from the Silmarillion have way too much going on in them to be. I know what the book is. I just can't say the fucking
Silmarillion.
word. Have way too much going on in them to be a viable exercise, and hammer weight is very difficult. Scaby.
Sorry. Say that one more time. The note was...
Paragraphs from the Silmarillion have way too much going on in them to be a viable exercise, and hammer weight is very difficult.
Okay, so you think maybe you chose something that had a bit too much happening. Let's have a look. Let's see.
Silmarillion.
Nice.
Silmarillion.
Oh, this is lovely. Like, beautiful. Yeah, super nice.
Yeah, double. The paragraph is in the Discord too. Oh, okay.
Hammer weight is hard, but I think it does feel weighty.
And more challenge. Okay, so here's the paragraph for us. The irrelevant parts of the paragraph I animated for the challenge is: "Therefore Morgoth came, and he issued forth clad in black armor, and he stood before the king like a tower iron-crowned, and his vast shield, sable and blazoned, cast a shadow over him like a storm cloud. But Fingolfin gleamed beneath it as a star, and for his mail was overlaid with silver, and his blue shield was set with crystals, and he drew his sword Ringel that glittered like ice. Then Morgoth hurled aloft
this is very
hammer of the underworld, and swung it down like a bolt of thunder. But Fingolfin sprang aside, and Grond rent a mighty pit in the earth, when smoke and fire darted." Basically, big old dude threw a hammer at the floor.
Yeah. Look.
Lovely
Lovely
did a
poses.
dodgy.
I can see what you mean about it being very wordy. I would give you the same advice I gave Animated Moon here, which is when the hammer comes down, maybe give it a little whip here to really go with the momentum of the scene. So whip pan. It just really helps to keep the momentum, especially if it's something like a hammer swinging down and then someone dodging it. Whipping into this scene, I think will help keep some of that momentum going. So let's see. It's nice to see a perspective grid being used too. Got a nice impact frame going on there. Let me just have a look at that. Yeah, I see there's a little bit of wobble going on here with the hammer, where it's like going down, then up, then down, then down, then up.
I feel like it would have more impact if it didn't rattle around as much.
Agreed. I think also you might not want to have it go down at the beginning, because to me the things with the most impact hit and then rebound.
Mm-hmm.
So showing that hit would imply that it's sinking slowly into something.
Yeah.
I think if you want a badong kind of feeling, a rebound, you want to do a similar thing to what you're doing with the dirt here, where you start with this frame and then you rebound up into this frame slowly.
Yeah.
Like you ease up out of this position.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just put a little note here. Start hammer. At lowest position. You could do something really nice here. And then ease up. So it'll be like impact here. And then you'd be like ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. Like that. So it feels like a rebound. So the really nice thing that I was thinking you could do is, if everything is slowly rebounding upwards, like you have the dirt doing here too, it would be really nice to show a lot of variance in the spacing of these things. So just like Mike was talking about with the parallax earlier, with someone else's scene where things closer to the camera move faster relative to the camera. Mm-hmm. Separating, when you come to like ink it and work into it, separating these imash, what kind of blocks are they? Are they imaishi?
Yatapon.
Yeah, that's it.
Yatapon.
Or Utapon.
Utapon.
Separating these cubes, these anime cubes, into what layers they are relative to the camera, so that you have the ones furthest to the camera easing up very slowly, and the ones in the foreground coming up faster, and then you can have a rush of foreground, dirt and grime, happen faster and after the fact, where you're like...
So the shockwave is moving outward.
Yeah, towards the cam, right?
Yep.
So then you have like this block coming up in the foreground, and you can just have it like be blacked out like this to imply that it's a silhouette.
Thank you for the follow. Argent, is that sorry, that's a Teen Wolf surname, I think. I think you triggered a memory in me.
A Teen Wolf memory has been unlocked.
Yeah. It's probably completely unrelated.
Foreground. You know, and
Did you
then...
just write fa?
Foreground. This is no G.
Okay. FG, gotcha.
Was there any G? And then this would be like...
MG.
Yeah. This would all be... midground. And then... all this would be... background. Bug. So you could have these three moving at slightly different rates. I think it would really give you like that epic feeling, and then you have your hammer timing as well separate to this. And it would all just be very simple easing like you have now, just that they would be separated in their speeds. But yeah, in terms of keeping the hammer feeling heavy, I think making sure that here there's not a lot of jittering and the hammer is very like deliberate in its movement. As well here it feels like it's rotating from the hammerhead.
Mm-hmm.
Having this feeling here where it's rotating from a handle instead, I think implies that it's rotating from the hand of the person who's wielding it, which I think makes more sense for a rebound.
Yeah. Otherwise you're implying that he threw the hammer and let it go.
Mm-hmm. Or that he's trying to pull it back up but having trouble because the hammerhead's so heavy, so the hammerhead is dragging.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see.
Both
Is
of
there
which indicate like a slight weakness in the character, which undermines the setup that they're freaking huge and powerful.
Yeah. Now let's see if there's anything I can call out from this beginning part, which is really epic and cool. Love the way you're using the camera here.
I love the fact he has a massive shield as well.
So this is a great example of the handheld camera look. It's how it's following the action, but it's not like... It's actually following the action rather than being a straight... what would you call it when it rotates? Is that a dolly shot? It would be a pan, wouldn't it? A straight pan. That's rotation.
I think we need to learn...
Yeah, we need to learn camera terminology so we can teach you guys best practices, because at the minute we're doing the thing where you use pan for everything and it's inaccurate.
The animator meme thing of like, what does the animator say for every camera? Pan, 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 pan. Because it used to just be a pan. It would always be a pan because they would fake everything.
Yeah, so let's see. What Pat always told me about heavy stuff is when it's heavy, it's slow up, fast down.
Yeah.
And when it's light, it's slow down, fast up.
Oh, interesting.
So for this, like, they're just inverses of one another, basically. So this, I love the poses you have here.
Yeah, the crossover is nice.
I think maybe if you just elongated this swing up here, so it felt like it took more effort. There's like a little blip in the timing here where we're kind of almost starting to ease here, and then we get to this position and have an ease here, and then we ping to this position and have an ease there, where it creates this, like, I think it's an appealing blip in the timing. Like, I like it the way it goes, like up, whoop, and then down.
Well, you got to consider that he's trying to like articulate around his head.
Yeah.
Like, you would have a smooth motion up to like there, and then you would have to probably like arc your chest and back and your head to dodge. So you're probably like,
well,
then you've got...
I think you would naturally go from this frame to... Hold on.
Did you take reference at all for the movement on this X?
Give me a sec. I think you would naturally go from this frame to this frame. I think that would be the way you would get around it in real life, is you wouldn't get into this position where you're like this.
Mm-hmm.
If you were going to swing it like this,
yeah,
you would go like that. You wouldn't go this.
True. Yeah.
So I think even though this is a very appealing position, you could cut it and have it go straight from this to this and then round to give it a smoother arc. But like I said before, I do quite like this little blip in the timing. I think it gives it like a certain rhythm. That's nice. Because we go up, whoop, then down. And I think that up, whoop is nice. It's a nice feeling. So while I think you could change that, I don't honestly know if I'd want to tell you to, because I think it has a certain appeal to it that makes it really satisfying to watch. So you can take from that what you will. You could either, in air quotes, fix it, or you could leave it how it is, where it like, I think it feels nice and has a charm to it that you would lose if you were to iron that out. So yeah, in terms of the weight, you could give it a few more frames getting up there, or you could just really drag this out. Like, add like 4 more in-betweens in there and just really drag it out. Like this little arc here at the top. And you'll have people gritting their teeth because they want the hammer to fall. And there's like a satisfaction in that anticipation of like really feeling like, oh, it's coming down, it's coming down, it's coming down, it's coming down.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think just cram a bunch more frames in there. Nice anticipation here. A nice lunge forward.
Yep, good staging.
Yeah. I might be tempted to move them up a little bit more if they're pushing off with their foot here. I might be tempted to move them up a bit so they're more like this, so it feels like they're pushing off against the floor more. But you don't have to do that. It depends how horizontal you want them to move.
Would you also raise the shield up a little bit? Because I feel like it's important to show that they're like doing like this with the shield.
Yeah. I mean, you could get that by tilting it a little bit too. I think tilting it implies that it's being moved up with the arm that's moving it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you would have the hand like that. But that's very up to you. It's a small tweak. Just because I think otherwise it looks almost like they're diving so low to the ground that they're not going to be able to land well. And then I just follow that through by bringing the shoulder up to this part of the frame instead. Nice impact. I think your impact frame, actually, you could improve the impact frame if you found the point of origin for this impact, which would be like... I don't know why it's pinging back. Oh, it's because I've got my finger on the screen. So I'm trying to trace the point of impact.
Oh.
It would be like here-ish. And then just stick a perspective grid in there and have the light come out of that perspective grid and illuminate the environment using that as the origin point of light. That's how Pat does his impact frames, and Pat's impact frames are effing beautiful things to look at.
Mm-hmm.
Think of the center of your impact point as a light source. Yeah. And then base your impact frame on that, and it will have a lot of dynamism to it. Yeah, source of impact equals light source. That's all of the feedback I have for this one. I think it's super cool. This is a really fun challenge, guys. I'm really enjoying looking at which books you've chosen and how you've illustrated them. You've all done such cool work. There's super awesome stuff going on here.
I think it's a nice challenge because it's open enough, but it has like a fixed kind of context, but it also is flexible enough to create such a range of a range of possible outcomes that it makes looking through them really, really, really cool and interesting.
Yeah. Let's hop on. So we've got Martina's. It's the last one. Oh my gosh, look at this face. Oh look, this actually has the quote. And I want to be on the couch with very dirty shoes. Nice use of a found environment as well, like a 3D generated environment. That will save you from drawing a background, and it works super well.
Did you make the environment, Martina?
I'm going to give it a playthrough. If you want to check the sheet, see if there's anything.
Hey, Psycho, thanks for the bits. Welcome.
Hey, thank you so much. This is just joyous. I like it. Was there anything said, Mike, in the...
Let me see.
Lovely up and down on the body here, Martina.
No. I asked for the quote, so all we got is the quote from them.
I like this. Like, nice little things like the storytelling here being like, they've stomped up this way to get onto the couch.
Yeah, that's great.
I love the belligerent
storytelling.
Yeah. I love the belligerent expression. I think the only thing that I would call out here, let's see. Yeah. So I'm looking at the arc of the hand closest to us. So let's trace that arc. And I'll show you what I mean. Getting myself a red pen.
I like that from the entire pantheon of all literature, this is the moment you picked. Like, I just wanted to have someone stomp on a couch.
What is this from, Martina? I gotta know. Okay, so I'm just gonna trace these positions. So I would just smooth this out. And the way that I would smooth this out is just by keeping these exactly the way they are and changing those two to be this and this. So that it feels like we have a nice smooth through line going on there.
Nice.
So I'm gonna erase that by changing this to new sketch. There we go. Okay. So this would be more like this, I think, if I remember right. And then this would be here. And then this would be coming down.
Yeah, because it looks like the arm grows in length a little bit.
Oh yeah, it does definitely here, for sure. You see the elbow's going down, but the hand is going up. So the forearm is growing.
And you could have that stretch, but you would need to make the little hand stretch a little bit and go a little bit thinner. But you could have that stretchy pull.
If you wanted to have squash and stretch, you could 100%.
Because it's a nice idea to have that like that pull on the elbow, but the arm is dragging a little bit behind.
I don't think it was meant to be a squash and stretch frame though, given the following frame in the sequence. Like if you were going to pull down and the next frame was like here.
True. Yeah.
Then yeah.
Yeah.
But since it's
not.
It's continuing to go up.
Then yeah.
Oh no, I've destroyed everything. There we go.
Good.
No!
Yes.
No!
Destruction is the basis for all creation.
Is this the beginning of your descent into a villain?
Yeah.
So
what do you mean descent? You mean ascend? Ascend as a villain. Villains are higher than heroes.
Alright, Jafar.
Jafarted.
Oh, nice. You got me. I'm going to give this a little bit more of an ease.
Punk Cherry says, kill, attack, bite, violence. I don't know why.
And then I need to make the hand a little bigger so that it matches the size. Here. So, why is it still showing that all the way along? That was weird. Stop! There we go. Maybe I do need to bring that down a little bit more. Bear with me. But yeah, I think giving this a bit more of an arc is going to be good. I'm going to take that off screen there.
Arcs are one of the 12 principles of animation.
One of the 12.
Aren't they?
Yeah, they are. One of the 12, you're right. I was just agreeing with you.
Arcs are a really pleasing way for things to move. I think the example they give is like Richard Williams in his book has like an arm, like pick up a ball or something.
Mm-hmm.
And he shows how like each element of the arm, like the elbow, the wrist, the fingers, they all kind of follow their own individual arcs. It's really cool.
Yeah.
It's real cool.
Yeah, then you have a nice ease going on there.
Ula says, make sure the hand is not replaced in the next frame by the other hand as well. It will feel like a pop.
Yeah. So I'll show you which bit he means.
I really like
I maybe made it a little bit long there.
that sound effect.
Good for you. So here, you see this hand. The backhand feels like it almost replaces it. Which is kind of tough. So maybe give us more of an ease. Here. So that you separate that from the next frame. A bit more. And it's not just being replaced by the backhand. And then the only other thing I'd say is like, I just think maybe the face gets a little bit lost. And I think it's because like you can see this nice rotation happening here. And then around here, it pings downwards. And then back up to 3/4. And I think we kind of lose the nice feeling of continuation you had here with it. So I think bringing it gradually down a bit more so we can trace that movement happening.
And then drag it, keep it down there a little bit.
Yeah, keep it down. And then bring it up a little bit.
Ula says that he would have just not shown the other hand quite yet when delay it by a frame as a solution.
Yeah, that is definitely something that you could do. And show it here for the first time instead of on the previous frame for the first time. But yeah, just make sure that you have like some nice smoothness going on with that face for us to trace, because honestly, like the face is what we'll be looking at most. That's like rule 1 of animated character is 99% of the time, unless you deliberately direct them to do so with the composition or the movement, people are going to be looking at the face. So making sure that the head and the face are smooth and working so that people can trace it easily is really important.
My face is up here.
My face.
My face.
I'm just going to take that away.
One thing I would say as well is that if the character is indeed stomping on a couch, then the cushions are going to have a little bit of give on your stomps. So you might want to have the foot like pushed down a little bit and then come up a little bit.
Oh yeah?
And I wasn't really watching that when it played through, so I'd be interested to see if that's in there.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah, because they're fairly like solid and stuck on there.
And how would you do that? Would you just
I would probably not worry about it on the like stepping off of the cushion, but I would just have the foot go like down and then up again when they stomp.
Okay, I see.
Like an overshoot.
So this is a good example. So we see here the foot impacts here.
Yep.
And then they start moving forward. So you would simply have the foot squash into the cushions a little bit.
Yeah.
On that impact. And then come back up on the following frame. So the ground feels like kind of spongy.
Yeah.
Basically.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh, if you're going to ping the foot to a rotation too, it might be best just to have it land in that position. So
yeah.
to, whoops, just have it I'll have to do this from memory. Just have it land like this, rather than having to ping it round that way after the fact. Just because it's very hard to twist a load-bearing foot when you're on it.
Especially if it's flat.
I think it makes sense as well, since they're going around a corner, for them to
anticipate, because they're looking that they're
to be
gonna
twisting their foot a little bit here as we're starting to come down.
And you could
Because
have
they're
the
going,
character like looking at their next intended victim.
And then here we would have it bring it around a little bit more. This kind of dealio.
A good way to hear the theme is to come along to the streams when we do the reviews, because we tell the theme then. Although,
look at this mess I've made on this. But hopefully if you watch this with the commentary, you can tell what I was getting at.
Aside from that, if you want to catch it, it's on our Twitter. So Twitter.
So yeah, we announce the themes on the Animorning challenge days like today, and then we also post it up on the Twitter. Normally a couple of days after.
Is that the final submission?
It is the final submission. Congratulations, Martina, and thank you. We did it. Thank you very much for submitting. Woo!
You did it. We did it. We done it. It's done. Ula says, new theme, new theme. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
New theme. Okay, so I have like a couple in my head. I'm just trying to figure out which one we should do next. I could put it to you guys and see what you fancy.
Poll! User interaction! Poll!
Do you have any ideas, Mike? Because you told me you were thinking of one yesterday.
I wanted to go back to doing like something really specific, like maybe an effects animation or something like that, but that's all I was really thinking.
Okay.
It was good. I thought of like, if we've done like lightning and fire and water, I was gonna think like another element could be earth, like practicing like a boulder falling or like some sort of earth type animation.
The boulder!
And what was the other one? I came up with another one. Now it's my memory that's just like gone.
I was gonna propose maybe doing like, so these are my ideas, guys. You can tell me which one you like the best. Number one was Vine study.
A Vine study.
I was thinking about how important it is to look at reference to get really nice nuanced movements, and I was thinking about how fun it would be to do like a scene study of something and to pick something you like from a show or a live action TV series and then reanimate a little bit that you saw.
Yeah. So
that you were like looking at that reference, but then I was worried that people would take huge scenes that were too long. So I was like, what's a good way to do that? If we did something like a Vine, it would only be 5 seconds long. So that might be a good one to do. To reanimate a Vine. With rough animation.
Do you mean a TikTok?
Sure. As a study. I think TikToks can be longer than Vines.
Oh, okay.
Which is the problem.
Oh, right, okay.
My second idea was to take a small clip from a podcast you like.
Podcast you like.
And to animate that. Clip can be no more than like, say, 7 seconds. Yeah. Similar rules to Vine. Like, just keep it simple, 7 seconds. Find a podcast you like and take a clip from it. The third idea was to take a live action character and simplify and design them for animation.
Take a what character?
A live action character from a show that you like and design them as an animated character. And it's a look into like how you would simplify the clothing, streamline the design, to try and figure out how you would make that easily animatable. And then the critiques we would do would be on the designs and how we would like further simplify them. And maybe issues we've run into trying to animate characters like that and how we've solved them. I mean, that's 3 so far. And then there's an Affect Earth challenge.
Yeah, what was your third one?
It was to take a character that you like from a live action.
Yeah.
A live action piece of media.
Action
and
character.
To simplify their design for animation. Like basically draw them how you would an animated show and figure out how you would do that.
Simplify.
How do you maintain the essence of that character but get rid of stuff like patterns of clothes, simplify the cut of clothes, like figure out how, you know, the hair's going to work.
I think that's really important because designing for animation is a skill into itself. And I think it's one that, you know, when you're starting at animating, you can underestimate. And so you're like, oh, I just do this. And you're like, oh, I need to draw so many lines and frames all.
Yeah, like figuring out how is this character going to be simplified into shapes for when the borders want to work with them.
I'll make the poll 2 minutes.
Sure. Like a great example to look at for that. A great example to look at for that is Schnickles and how Schnickles has taken the character of Beetlejuice.
Yes.
And simplified them into an easily storyboardable and animatable character.
Okay, making the poll now. Start poll.
So let me get that up just so you guys can see. Schnickles. So this is how Schnickles designed Beetlejuice from Beetlejuice.
Come on, vote! Vote on the poll! The poll will be at the top of the chat. I think you need to click the down arrow to see it, and then you toggle the little boxes, and then you hit the vote button.
Yeah. So, I mean, this isn't the original actor. This must be the stage production, but
apparently that's a fan art someone did for Schnickles based on her interpretation.
Yeah, it's the same design though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like they took her design.
Yes.
And drew it. So this is an actor playing the character of Beetlejuice.
Oh.
And this is how it was simplified for animation.
Gotcha. I think her boards might be a little bit simpler again.
Even simpler. Let's have a look.
Yeah.
So, sorry.
Holy crap.
So
that's so good.
Okay,
there you are.
There we are. I wish you could have this full screen and this full screen, but here they are.
Wow, podcast has gotten 0.
Wow, I'm surprised. I thought everyone would be up for the podcast one.
Yeah. Someone voted for podcast.
It's alright if you don't listen to podcasts, no worries.
Alright, so
Vine TikToks are doing pretty well right now.
Yeah.
Because that gives you a lot to work with. Like, you can find your favourite Vine or TikTok, and as long as it's short, do an action study of it. So, I was thinking about how great and useful and handy it is to do live action studies, and the one which came to mind most was Habbo doing the live action study of The Witcher.
Yeah, that was great.
So it like taught him a lot about how things cut and everything and different angles and how to get action to flow. But his undertaking was too big for this.
Yes.
So I wanted to compress it down into something more manageable and bite-sized and small. So I think that looking at Vines or TikToks is a good alternative.
Ula says, with the Vine, I'm still just going to grab a short clip on YouTube of something. So
that's fine.
Maybe like we can say this is just take a 7-second clip.
From something.
Yeah.
5 to 7 seconds.
5 to 7 seconds.
And like you can do TikToks or Vines if you want to, if that's an easier way for you to do it, but you're not constrained to that.
So we could call this the...
Because we don't want you to miss out on the cinematic cuts that you can get from an actual production. Okay,
so let's say that this challenge is then the 7-second study.
7-second study, like it.
Because that's SSS, and that it's just, not that SSS is right. Never mind. 7-second study.
Yep. So this week it's 7-second study.
A dissonant challenge.
And if you can, choose something that's something you want to learn that's out of your comfort zone. If you have trouble doing action but you want to do more action stuff, choose a clip from Zorro or something. If you like want to learn how to do acting, but are scared of doing acting stuff, choose something from Pride or Prejudice or something.
Choose an emotional beat.
Yeah. Try and steer clear from things that are going to take you away from what you want to do. Like, if you want to do an acting scene and you choose a scene from Titanic where there's like 30 passengers trying to get onto a lifeboat while there's the sea in the background chopping around, like, try to avoid stuff where a lot of your time is going to go into drawing the auxiliary stuff outside of what you mainly want to focus on.
Yeah.
So that you don't end up being like, I really wanted to do more of Rose's acting, but I ended up spending too much time on drawing the 30 other passengers and sea in the background, you know?
You can, well, I mean, you don't have to reanimate everything in the frame, right?
No, absolutely not. But I feel like people will feel like they need to if it's important to the composition.
What, Ben? Why? No.
What dog poo scene?
I will say that the Animorning challenge, we will analyze clips at our own discretion, and we will choose not. Actually, dog poop scene might be really funny, but yeah.
I don't even know what this scene is.
I have no idea. I just wanted to put in like a little like stupid disclaimer there, like we can
anything except dog poop.
Rules of the challenge: we do not have to analyze every single clip submitted.
All right, Michael.
India's like, is that a challenge?
Sounds like my challenge. But yeah, thank you guys so much for taking part of this challenge. This has been a really fun one. I really enjoyed this. We might come back to this in the future because I love seeing you guys imagine something that you've read and how you would stage that and how you would show that, you know. This
has been a really cool challenge. I think this is a good one to cycle through again.
Yeah. I've had a lot of fun looking at these. But now I must away.
Crux, thank you for the bits. Appreciated.
Thank you very much.
I didn't see it at the time, sorry.
You'll link the scene in the peg bar. Thank you, I think.
Nah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna go try and figure out what's up with OBS. See if we can.
Also, need to remember that today's Mystic Monday.
Oh yeah.
If we do that early, then it will take stress off our shoulders for later.
That's true. What India means by Mystic Monday is every Monday the Knights of the Light Table Twitter has been showcasing and celebrating the art and animation of the crew that worked on the Mystic Crystal. And today, I believe, might be my day.
Hey!
I think it's maybe you, Mark, and I.
Me? Again?
Oh, well, you wanted to show storyboards, I think.
I think I want to show animation.
Or animation. You got a couple of days because you did a bunch of stuff.
Holy crap. Alfu Shadowwolf, hi, thank you for the follow. Alright, we're gonna run! Run!
At Doig Day, I might be sharing either backgrounds or post-production. Let me know what you'd rather see.
Yeah, what do you guys want Doig to share?
Or I might just slam both of mine together today, we'll see. I'm in charge, so, you know.
Yeah.
You want to see all.
Who are we raiding?
Who are we raiding indeed? If you guys have any suggestions, otherwise I'm going to be looking at who we already follow. Zip. Okay. Raid Doig Swift. Ula, it doesn't work. We tried it before.
We didn't actually try it.
It doesn't work. Stop it. I know that we are your favorite stream and your favorite streamers. Oh, Clyde popped up. Okay, let's raid Clyde. You got some indies we could raid. I think we're gonna go with Clyde. That's a good suggestion. And if they're just starting up, then they're also an animator and a very, very, very cool person. That's how you say the name. Yes, that's how you say the name. It's spelled Chluaid, but it's Clyde.
It's Clyde.
You always read it as Chluaid. I mean, that's how it looks.
I think it's an Irish name, maybe?
I think so, yeah.
Irish names be like that.
Everyone say thank you to India for all our time today. And
no, don't. It's fine.
No, do it.
Thank you guys for your time making these. My time reviewing them was relatively small compared to your guys' time making them.
Actually, your time reviewing is about 2 hours and 40 minutes, and that's about the time you allot to the challenge.
This is my Animorning challenge.
Oh, because it said thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you. Start raid. No, I think it's good to important.
I think it's good to important too.
Yeah. I think it's important to remember that, like, you are putting in time and your knowledge and stuff.
Well,
and thank you.
I just hope it's helpful for people. Because it's like, it's all very well good putting time into it, but if my feedback is rubbish, then it doesn't matter either way, does it? So I hope that people found it useful. That's all I want.
I think they did. All right. We're off. Thank you so much for coming by. We'll be back tomorrow.
Until next time.
May the rest
of your day
be filled
with adventure.
Take care, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.